Let's move on to the bet slips. Trey, we're going to start with yours.
Yeah, I like to just pick two NCAA and two NFL, and we'll see what happens with it. Each week I've been 2-2. I've hit one NCAA and one NFL and lost another one. But we'll see what happens this time around. I'm going to go K-State versus West Virginia. K-State minus 6.5. I think I bought a point there because I think they're favored by 7.5. K-State is 5-1 ATS, and they're versus a team with a losing record. West Virginia is 2-6 ATS in their last 8 Big 12 games. They're still not used to the Big 12. They wish they could go back to the Big East. And the favorite in this matchup in the last 5 games has covered the 4 out of 1. So K-State's favored, so I'm going to go K-State minus 6.5. My next NCAA pick is UConn versus Army. UConn plus 9.5. That is actually my free pick on the website on bearsprofitplace.com. So if you want to go listen to some of those trends, go check out that article. I will just say UConn plus 9.5 is easy money. Going on to Sunday, NFL, Bears versus Falcons. Bears plus 3.5. I feel really confident about that. Falcons are 0-4 ATS in their last 4 games overall. And in this matchup, the Bears are 4-0 ATS in their last 4 games against the Falcons. And then
All
my
right.
last pick, Commanders versus Texans, the game of the week, the one that everyone's going to be watching. I'm going to go Commanders minus 2.5. I think I bought a point there as well. I think it's Commanders minus 3.5. But Commanders are 4-0-1 ATS in their last 5 games. Taylor Heineke is a covering machine. He will not allow you to blow them out, even if they lose. And the favorite in this matchup is 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games. Commanders are favorited, so I'm going to side with them here. Commanders minus 2.5.
Yeah, I like that pick a lot.
Yep.
Cam seems to think he's got me figured out. Betting against Cowboys so they win, and betting against you're not wrong, but you're also not right. But peace and love. All right,
Peace and
Teats.
love.
Teats, what do we have?
Oh boy, are you guys ready for this?
Let's see that bet slip.
I got 3 college, 2 NFL, so we'll start with Saturday. So Maryland last week I was wrong. Hopefully I'm right about them this week. They got Ohio State. I'm looking at the over 63.5. Ohio State's offense is very good. Maryland's offense is typically pretty good. They did not look good last week against Penn State. I think that it could be easily like a 45-24 type ball game. Ohio State's going to definitely win this, but I think Maryland should be able to help cover that over.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of going with Trey, K-State, West Virginia. Dude, K-State is just that team that can put some points up on the board.
And they're finally starting Will Howard, too.
Yes.
Thank God.
And honestly, if they started Will Howard from week 1, they may be the number 1 team in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. I'm not going to actually go that far, but they are very good with Will Howard as their quarterback.
There we are.
Adrian Martinez, he's a great dual threat quarterback,
Yeah.
but he's just not their guy. So I think K-State, West Virginia, they can either score 40 or they'll score 12. But I think over 54.5 is a good number as well for that game. Virginia Tech, Liberty minus 10. I went against Liberty earlier this season against Wake Forest, and I was so wrong. I decided, you know what? Liberty's looking great this season. I'm going to go with Liberty's side on this one. Minus 10. Virginia Tech hasn't been great either this season, so I think that that could be a trap situation. Liberty might get another loss before going into the bowl action type situation, but Liberty minus 10 just feels right to the soul. Mm-hmm. Going to Sunday. As you can see, I'm not taking sides for Sunday. I was looking at the lineups and was not a fan of most of the matchups going on. So we got Raiders-Broncos. I'm going over 41. Last time that the Raiders and Broncos played, I think the over-under was like 45, and they hit. It was like 50-some total points scored. Broncos defense is one of the best in the league. Broncos offense is one of the worst. So we'll see what they can do with that. Raiders are kind of like in the middle of the pack both ways. So I'm going to go over for that game just based off of how they handled it last time they played. Bengals Steelers. The Steelers, dude, Kenny Pickett seems to be figuring it out a little bit. Week by week, he's starting to figure it out. I think that a 23-20, like a 28-23 ball game is very possible. I think the Bengals will win it, but I think that both offenses being Bengals offense being high-powered, Steelers offense figuring it out. 41 is almost a disrespectful line.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teats, 4 overs in that card. That's the way to my heart. I love those over picks. All right, let's get into my bet slip. I have 4 college games, 3 college games.
You have
Three
three college games.
3 college games. Let's start with TCU. TCU versus Baylor. I'm going to take TCU money line or TCU minus the 2.5. I haven't decided yet. They have to win this game to remain in the college football playoffs. Baylor last week at home, thumped by K-State. We all watched that game. TCU is just a better team here. So I'm going to take TCU to keep riding the Horned Frogs. Nebraska plus 10.5 versus Wisconsin. Both these teams stink. And the over-under set at 39.5. So it's too many points for Wisconsin to cover in this one. Nebraska has been close in a lot of games leading up to this one. A 6-point loss against Purdue, a 7-point loss against Minnesota. So I think they can cover against a bad Wisconsin team. Kansas State minus 6.5 versus West Virginia. Kansas State is a different animal with Will Howard. Trey said it. Will Howard makes this team elite. Last week they ran a dual quarterback threat against Baylor, 131-3. This game just feels like the same outcome. I just don't think West Virginia is that good. Kansas State's going to get up big and just keep pounding them. So let's move on to the NFL picks. Commanders minus 2.5 versus Houston. Everyone loves Taylor Heineke. Everybody. The team loves him. The fans love him. The only people that don't love him seem to be the front office because after they went into Philly and dominated them and ended their perfect season, they sat the man in economy next to a trash can. So I don't understand that, but Heineke has some magic in him. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like feels like Fitzpatrick kind of way, but Commanders win this game big and they get themselves back in the playoff contention. The Bengals minus 3 versus the Steelers. This is a revenge game from week 1. Pittsburgh took down the Bengals. Bengals big, gets ugly fast. So Bengals minus 3.
I like that.